Okay, so let's get started on the intro melody and the chords and everything else that's going to support the hook here. Now, there's a couple ways to go about it. For the most part, I usually like to start off making a track by making the chords first. In this case, I didn't do that first. I made the hook melody first because other times, depending on the track, with festival EDM, I find it's easier to design the peak of the track first, the drop, the chorus, so to speak, so that you get the idea of what the peak is going to sound like of the track, and then you build the supporting elements of the track around that idea to kind of build up to that idea. It's just, it's whatever works for you, but for me, this is the easiest way to go about using hooks into chords, versus in other tracks, I would make the chords first, and then you would write the bass line based on those chords. The chords are kind of like the blueprint for the entire melodic structure of the song. But in this case, we're going to kind of work backwards here and make the chords after we've made the hook. Fortunately, there is a VST plugin that is really helpful in this situation, and I'll show you how to use it. But I'll show you how to make it from scratch too, because I want to show you multiple ways on how to create melodies here. Okay, so we are working in F sharp minor. That is the main thing you want to know when writing proper chords. We're going to go ahead and go into this section right here on our instrument section. Let's go and add a instrument. Again, let's go with a piano. I like a forefront makes a really good piano that I like to use all the time. And I have it right here, dash piano. It's kind of like a Dash Berlin sound. That's why I kind of named it dash piano. All right, let's take a listen. It's got a nice delay. Okay, so you kind of get the idea. So you find a nice reference piano just to kind of start off with, and you can change the piano sound later once we get the idea going of what we're looking for here. Let's start off with our intro chords first. So we're going to create a MIDI clip here. And then you can see that since we have scale and scale turned on here, everything is already set to go. We're in the right key. So now in Ableton Live 11, what's really great about these new updates is that you can just draw in chords, even if you're not really trained well in music theory. It doesn't really matter. Let's just go ahead and put the first note right here in F sharp number 1. And let's go ahead and just add this guy right here. Let's add one right there. I'm just adding random chords here, mind you. There's no real rhyme or reason to where I'm putting these. And we're going to take a listen. Let's go ahead and actually legato this out a little bit more here. Okay, so and let's try that. Okay, now we want to kind of mess around with the notes here. Okay, so something like that could work. Now we can make it even more thick and have a nice wider, have more character to it by simply highlighting all the notes. And then we can randomize all the velocities to give a more humanized feel. Simply do that. And then we can even top off where we want it to. If we want no notes to go above, say, 90 velocity, hit randomize again. And then we can simply adjust as we want to. If it's a little too low, bring them all up. And then just to double check, sometimes it's not really necessary, but just to mess around, I always just like playing it over the hook to see how they blend. Okay, so you can see they all go together, they're all in key, so everything works harmonically, which is really cool. It's a fun way to make mainstream EDM because you can kind of create two ideas, and then the build-up section, like maybe like this section right here, is where your creativity can shine as far as fusing these two ideas. The idea that you build in the intro, and then how does that fuse into the drop. So the notes are still technically all the same key and the same scale, but no, there's a lot of different energy involved. When you listen to like here, and then how does that calm tone and vibe get into So, that's the fun part about making, high energy festival house or EDM is, having it gives you the best of both worlds. You get like these ballads as far as the intro and everything, and like these nice slow melodic sections that build up into high energy, catchy hooks and riffs. So that's how I would go about creating chords organically by myself, drawing them in manually. It's really easy to do in Ableton, especially Ableton 11, like I just showed you. These two factors are essential. Set your scale right here, press that, then just draw in any set of notes you want, and then move them all around, and everything's going to sound harmonically intact. And then another key, obviously, is adjusting the velocities on each little note here to make it sound humanized. Otherwise, if you have every single note at the exact same velocity, it's going to sound really digital, and it's not going to sound really authentic. So I can't stress this enough, is the key to making your pianos sound authentic and clean and good is to make sure that your velocities are adjusted accordingly on every single note, that they're all spread out, so it just sounds more natural, like a human played it, like you got a session player to come to the studio and lay it down. You know, really good strategy to keep in mind there.